time for Common Man. Common Man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
You've got to be kidding me.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
That's a bunch of malarkey.
And Peyton Manning takes the knee for the third straight time, and that should do it, folks. The final score of Super Bowl 41, the Colts 29, the Bears 17, and look at the pandemonium from the Indianapolis sideline down here in Miami. Colts spilling onto the field. Oh, and there we go, the Gatorade bath for Coach Tony Dungy, and it's Mike Doss applying the Gatorade bath. Good to hear from Mike Doss tonight as the Colts are your Super Bowl 41 champions.
Let's play.
I think we have a very good mix right now. I mean, the morning show does well, comparatively speaking, especially given what it has to go against. Dubers and I have done well, knock on wood, for 4 years. Common and Hartman have done okay, and Barrero is, in my estimation, the primetime player on our station. And cultivating a couple of kids in Sludge and Lake, and we have the Vikings and maybe some things down the road. So I think we're strong right now.
What do you think of my defense now?
I'm unlimited, Mr. Unlimited.
Upset alert. Right. We're happy for you. Yeah, but speculation.
Stand up, Ford Field! Stand up!
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those roads.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
There's nothing that annoys me more than when my microphone or my headset cord gets tangled up.
No!
And I'm struggling to get it untangled before the show starts.
Has it been in someone's mouth before it got tangled up?
No, it's not that. It's not PAs. I have my own. There's nothing in here that I don't hose down with Lysol. I don't know where PA has been. Speaking of that, can you play that soundbite again? You played that, I think, just to get me going. The one from Rosen Sports Sunday when PA, Common, and Mike Morris, the three of us were guests on the Mike Morris show, and Mark Rosen asked PA what about the where the fan was at that moment in time.
I think we have a very good mix right now. I mean, the morning show does well, comparatively speaking, especially given what it has to go against. Dubers and I have done well.
Okay, stop it
for 4 years. Common and
after this.
And Hartman have done okay.
Play that part over again.
I think we have a very good mix right now. I mean, the morning show does well, comparatively speaking, especially given what it has to go against. Dubers and I have done well, knock on wood, for 4 years. Common and Hartman have done okay, and Barrero.
He and Dubers have done well. Common and Hartman have done okay. Okay, is like we've been all right. You're just there to fill time. We're just, apparently, the two of us were just like the bridge between temporary layoff to permanent payoff and bumper to bumper. If it wasn't for Barrero, Hartman, and Common, there would have been no PA or Dubé. There'd be no PA right now. He'd be calling horse races at Talladega for a living. Because the station wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Barrero, Hartman, and Common. I know I've done this rant before, but it's a throw in the towel Thursday. So I feel like I need to be, and I don't like to be repetitive or talk about myself, but I'm going to make an exception there. But there's plenty to get to today. You ever get an invitation that says RSVP and then like clothing optional?
No, I have not.
Last night, the Wolves got an invitation to Madison Square Garden that said, please RSVP, defense optional. And the Wolves took that seriously again. We have a new nickname for J.J. McCarthy. Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9. Minnesota Wild. Are they back in action, by the way?
Oh, tonight, Carolina.
They're back in action tonight against Carolina with all those topics to get to. I don't know where to begin. Let's spin the wheel of topics.
Commons golf game.
I played today, so I
What'd
guess
you shoot today?
I shot another 78.
Where'd we play?
I played at Oak Marsh.
Where'd you hit it on? One.
Right up the gut.
Second shot?
Hit another wonderful hybrid.
Right or left?
It was a little right.
How far from the green was?
Well, I had a wedge in my hand.
Then what?
I knocked it onto about 30 feet.
Then what?
Left it 4 feet short.
Oh.
Then what?
Made it, and then I 3-putted the next 2 greens from 30 feet.
Well, there's
And
that.
so here's my excuse computer. I didn't putt very well today, yet I scored. But the reason I didn't putt very well today is why don't you fire up the excuse computer? You ready? Let's enter the statistics. Played at Oak Marsh. Shot a 78, went 40-38. Finished par. Stick that into the excuse computer and let's have it run. Some Anoka guy, Lake Wobegon baseball guy, and Larry Mondello guy were living rent-free in my head today. All I could think about was them nominating me for PST because I said I'm putting well, but nothing went in. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I'm not putting well. Nothing's going in. And then I was just awful on the front side putting. I mean, literally awful. The 40 should have been a 37. Maybe even a 36, a par 35 on each side. And I just hope Larry Mondello guy had a successful comedy set last night as I had putting today on the front side. That's all I hope. I don't know why they would do that to me, but that's what they did. So, I heard yesterday during the Kevin O'Connell news conference, we were, we aired it on this radio station, started about 12:45 or so. And he talked about, it was kind of an odd midweek news conference thing because he started talking about comparing JJ to a chef, and comparing, we provide the ingredients and this. And then he said he's calling him number 9 because he gets that look in his eye and he's number 9. So he's almost like, it's almost like we're establishing him as some type of a superhero, right? Just a fresh-faced young kid by day or by night. But on Sundays, he's number 9, number 9, number 9. He gets that look in his eye to me. I usually expect a little bit more from superheroes, but he did make the plays he had to make when he won, and he is young in his career. But if you could find that little soundbite from the Beatles' White Album, number 9, and put it somewhere on the button bar, and we can use that now when we're talking about McCarthy. We'll beat that thing into the ground because that's what we do. But, so number 9 will be on the field. And his counterpart, what is Lamar's number? Is he number 8 or 6?
I think 8 sounds right.
8 sounds right, I think. So it'll be 8, 9, 6, 7, you know.
Yeah, he's Ocho.
Yeah, okay. We'll hear that. You'll hear that game on this radio station. Our coverage begins at 10 o'clock. Noon is the kickoff. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, Tenneby, toward the end of the program. It's sort of kind of oftentimes, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. It's an old cliche. The reason cliches are cliches is, generally speaking, they're true. And if you would have played Baltimore 2 or 3 weeks ago, like when Detroit got a hold of them, well, they were basically, like when a dog is happy to see and he rolls over and you rub his tummy. That's just the way the Ravens appeared at the game. They just rolled over on their back and said, "Just rub my tummy," because they were in a bad way. I mean, they started. Were they 1-5
yes.
at one point? And now they've won, is it 2 or 3 in a row?
2
in a row.
I think they're 3-5.
So they're another 3-5. Now, 3-5 doesn't sound much on surface, but again, Vikings are only 4-4. And you could make the argument in the NFL, you're only as good as your last game. Well, the Vikings were pretty darn good, and so were the Ravens. It should be, and I always say should. People always like to go, it's going to be a great game. I don't know, but it should be. Both teams have a lot at stake. I will tell you this, Tenneby. The team that wins, their base color will be purple. I do know that. I mean, and I believe they're the only 2 teams in the league that have a base color of purple. So, do we know
what types of purple are they? I feel like the Ravens purple is like a slightly darker purple.
Yes, I do believe.
I mean,
that
we're not
is.
violet, but
yeah. You're absolutely right. It's not quite the same.
Or does it just
shade.
look darker because they have it like with black?
That could be. But I do know that it's a lighter shade of pale, or a whiter shade of pale. So, Baltimore's a favorite. Looking at spread swing,
favored by 4.
Favored by 4. I wonder if the Viking fans are annoyed by that. I think when you have Lamar Jackson. And and this is not meant to be. I like the McCarthy kid. I think he's got a chance to be really good. At least I hope so. I got my fingers crossed. But he's starting this will be his 4th start in the National Football League. Lamar's been a 2-time MVP. So, there's a reason I think the Ravens are favored in this game. But I think Beefalo will probably have a couple of things up his sleeve. We'll take a deeper dive into the Vikings on the other side of the break. It's Peek at the Purple. We'll do Spread Swing at 1:30 with Deuce, the legendary Mark Rosen, Tenneby, and myself, and then Rosen will be with us for the entire 2 o'clock hour. That and so much more on the Common Man program right here on the Fan. And Tenneby's got a keyword for us to try to put $1,000 in your hand.
The Fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword dollar at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is dollar. Enter now at KFAN.com. Join Meat Sauce this Sunday for a Vikings watch party unlike any other at the all-new Hop House at Mystic Lake Casino. Don't miss a minute of the action on the giant wall TV displays. Enjoy the best seats, food and beverages, trivia and prize giveaways all game long, hosted by Meat Sauce. The party kicks off at noon. Get the full details at KFAN.com keyword calendar.
What's the name of the place again?
That would be the Hop House at Mystic Lake Casino.
And when would that be?
Sunday at noon, hosted by Meat Sauce, who, by the way, we'll play Program Password tomorrow.
Oh, very good.
He'll be in our house tomorrow.
For Program Password, who else is playing?
Parker Fox.
Oh, Parker Fox. Is he still playing basketball for the U, or is he finally done? And my other question is he still attending the U, or did he graduate? And did he actually graduate with a degree? So in other words, it seems to me, just because he went to the University of Minnesota, I would think it would be advantageous to be paired with Parker Fox. That's what I would think.
Sure.
And even though I was going to say Sauce at least has street smarts, but I don't even know if he has that.
The only smarts he has is he's a smart aleck.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, but we're looking forward to Program Password, that's for sure. Here's that story from Andrew Kramer wrote at Fish Wrap Factory West. By the way, Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. If you're planning a kitchen or basement remodel this fall, let the pros at Affordable Electric handle the wiring. They do it safely, neatly, and up to code. They work directly with homeowners and contractors across the Twin Cities to keep every project on schedule. Affordable Electric, how about this? Where quality meets affordability. Visit affordable-electric.com today, affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Ooh, yeah, that'll wake you up. Andrew Kramer writes, Fish Wrap Factory West Side. Vikings QB J.J. McCarthy's intensity as a name. I call him 9. McCarthy is always trying to have fun on the football field, but missing 20 of his first 22 NFL games due to injury has also created an anger he wants to harness. Ooh, angry quarterback. McCarthy's intensity in-game and post-game has given the 4-4 Vikings a little jolt, according to this story. McCarthy said, a switch gets flipped. I call him 9. 9 comes out, and I got to understand, okay, he can't be at his peak performance over 3.5 hours. I've got to find little ways on the sideline, get back to my breath, get back to my visualization that can kind of maintain the intense competitive stamina the whole game. It's his alter ego. He's 9. You have an alter ego. You're Brandon Molesky, but you're Tennessee. I don't think there's anger there. A lot of disappointment, I think, from you. A lot of regret. Lots of regret. I have an alter ego. I'm the common man. I'm the best of the lousiest of the best, which isn't the best place to be all the time. I mean, look, would you like to be at the very top? Well, sure. But not everybody can be at the top. That apparently is big ticket, according to PA. You know, he's the what did he call him? Primetime player on the Fan. Is that what he calls him? And then, of course, he and Dubers are doing fine.
They've been doing well.
Yeah, they've been doing well. So, it's hard to reach that height, that radio Hall of Fame type, where Rosen is, or Broadcasting Hall of Fame, where Rosen is, and Lee Valsvik is, and Dan Barrero, and a whole host of other people. There are literally hundreds of people in that Hall of Fame. But I don't think I'm also rock bottom either, right? So being the best, lousy, the best isn't bad. I'm a gadfly, so I got that going for me. But I don't really have a lot of anger. And I think channeling that in the right direction. And I guess, to be honest, I can understand the anger in you've been injured your career has been delayed by a significant amount of time, especially when you compare it to the other kids from his rookie class. Caleb Williams, I don't know if he's missed a game. Maybe he missed something. Maybe he got dinged up and I just don't remember. But he's played all of last year. He's played all of this year. Bo Nix, right? Has he been playing?
He's been healthy, yeah.
He's been healthy. Now, Jaden Daniels he's got was it a dislocated elbow, non-throwing? Isn't that what his injury was? I know it was his non-throwing elbow. I don't know the exact injury. He ain't no Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz would just eat some dirt and rub a little Robitussin on it and play. If you can play with a fractured shoulder socket and a torn labrum and a dislocated shoulder, how can you not play with a little dislocated elbow? I don't know, maybe it was more gruesome than I thought. But and who are the other youngsters from that? Drake May, he's played, right?
He's played all of them.
Yeah. And who else do we have from there?
Well, Penix didn't start the season
Right.
last year, and then he missed one game.
Okay.
Was it 2 weeks ago he missed a game?
Okay.
And Cousins came in and did not do well.
So you look at those and I can see where there would be disappointment for sure, and anger I think could be a reaction to it, because you're like, you might even start feeling like I'm cursed a little bit. You know, why me? Why me, Lord? What have I done to deserve even one of these injuries, including, you know, the last year's was the knee injury occurred in that preseason game in which he played really well. I mean, it was a nice kickstart to his career. You know, again, playing against some, you know, other backups and players that are trying to make the roster, but he played well. Then he had the meniscus tear. He misses the entire season. Gets off to a nice start this year in that fourth quarter against the Bears, then suffers the injury against the Falcons and misses 5 weeks. And so it's like, I could be a year and a half. I could have a year and a half worth of games under my belt, and he's basically got, is it 4 now? So I can see why.
3, right?
3, yeah, 3, yeah. I guess. So I can see why there would be, some anger there. So, and you know what? Whatever a person, you know, there are different ways to motivate yourself. I've not found one for me. I'm still searching here at 66 years of age, something to try to motivate me. Yeah, Chad Abbott, the program director in the coroner's office, said, "You going to try anything today? You know, give it any effort?" And I said, "It's a throw in the towel Thursday." I mean, I'm giving it effort. It's just, it's sort of like the Wolves trying to play defense, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm putting myself on the same level as the Wolves. So, but anyway, whatever motivates you to play well, if it's anger over an injury, if you have to pretend you're a Marvel superhero called number nine, that's all good too. I'll quote another Beatles song, or at least a song from a former Beatle who did in a solo effort, did "Whatever Gets You Through the Night is All Right." Whatever gets you through the game is all right by me. I mean, if that's what it takes to create an alter ego for yourself called number 9, then let's get it done, right? And so, because they're going to need more performances like they had. And again, you know, you look at the numbers, they were fairly pedestrian. He threw for about $145, a couple of tutties. He had the one interception. A lot of people don't think it was an interception. A lot of Viking fans don't think it was, but that's what it goes down in the record books. But he made some key throws. We've gone over those, particularly the one on third down at the end of the game when he hit a Speedy. If that's incomplete, the way the flow of the game was going at that, not B-flow, but the way the flow of the game was going, I kind of felt like if they didn't pick up that first down there, Detroit was going to go down and score and win the game. I really felt that way. Now, it may not have, but that's just kind of the feel I got from that game. After the Vikings had basically dominated the entire game. But it just changed so quickly. It was just like that. It was Lions get that tutty, and all of a sudden they got the Vikings on 3rd and 6. But McCarthy made the play. So hoping to see more progress like that. That is the one issue when you're trying to compete at the same time you're trying to break in a young kid. It can be difficult to do because there are going to be growing pains, right? But we're 4-4. He's number 9, and all's well with the world. Peek at the Purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, go to affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. More controversial Vikings news, some Wolves and Wild Talk, too. Other side of the break, Common Man program on the Fan.
KFAN's Corey Cove this Friday at Willie McCoy's in Champlin for Coors Light Hockey Night. Drop by starting at 6 p.m. to catch Minnesota take on New York. Enjoy ice-cold Coors Light specials and play trivia for your chance to win great prizes, including sweet tickets to a game in January. Get the full details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. I'm Common East Tennessee. I think most people would say Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. I know you think Pat Mahomes might be, or at least could surpass him by the time he gets done with his career. But I think most people look at his body of work, his unprecedented number of big game championships, and would say he's the GOAT. He called the game along with it wasn't Ian Eagle or Ian Eagle, whatever his name is, Kevin Burkhardt.
Burkhardt, yeah.
And he had a lot of nice things to say about 9. He talked about the 3 throws that a quarterback must make. I know you didn't see. You're listening to the National Treasure and Pete Bursich.
Yeah,
but he talked about the 3 throws that a quarterback needs to master to be successful in the National Football League. Number 1 was a high lofted deep ball, which he referred to as a touch pass. Throw requires a passer's touch and arc to drop the ball over a defender and into a receiver's hands. And he brought this up because once during the game, 9 did it with Addy. It was 9-3. 9 minus 3 equals 6. He also talked about the hard-driven sideline pass. It's described as a no-fear throw needing velocity and precision to hit a receiver in a tight window along the sideline, which Brady highlighted on the pass to Speedy to seal the game. And there's the third, the easy rhythm throws, screen passes, short 3-step drops. These help a quarterback get into a rhythm early in the game by getting the ball out of his hands quickly and building confidence. Brady was analyzing 9's performance and his ability to make the 3 different types of throws. It was also addressed by O'Connell during his news conference yesterday. He said, if you're not going to throw it hard, that no fear pass we were talking about, and that is what the one thing McCarthy did it. Was it the touchdown pass to Hawkinson where he did the old Brett Favre running one way and threw kind of across his body?
He was rolling out to his right. Yeah.
And he threw back across his body, which I think even Brady brought it up. That's a dangerous throw. You don't like to see a guy do it, but it worked. And Hawkinson was open enough where it wasn't like he was throwing it like Favre did in the NFC Championship game where there was a defender draped all over the receiver. So it was.
I felt like he was able to set his feet a little bit more than Favre did on that one too.
Yes. Well, I think Favre didn't want to set his feet because he wanted he likes to be Favre. But O'Connell said if you're not going to throw it hard, then you have to adjust for that in the type of throw you use. I think it's all part of his development. It's all normal. The best things about 9 are in the biggest moment of the game. And when the alter ego's on, he's really good. And so mastering those throws, there is something about being, I don't want to call it young and dumb because he's not dumb, maybe young and naive. They talk about it in golf a lot at Teddy, where, young kids, like when baby brother Peter and his buddy Jackson play golf with me, they can hit a 3. They play without any fear.
Sure.
Right? Because they don't have what we like to call scar tissue. Like when you stand on the tee box at number 4 at Loggers Trail and you see that woods on the right side.
That's terrifying.
You're thinking about it because
course.
You're thinking, more times than not, I've blocked it into the woods there and I've had to re-tee and then I hit it somewhere out there and I'm lying 3.
My fairway percentage on that one is not great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you think about those things. And McCarthy, at this point, I think, doesn't think about, probably really shouldn't throw across my body. That's really not a high percentage throw. But when you have no fear, when you are 9, then you go ahead and do that. And as long as he can complete it, I like gunslingers at quarterback. I really do. I mean, you don't want him. I would even, you know what they say about B-Flow, right? About B-Flow likes to say he likes his defense to be aggressive without being reckless. I like that with a quarterback. With a quarterback, though, sometimes there can be a little recklessness. And sometimes recklessness isn't bad depending upon where you are in the game. I mean, if the game's on the line and, you're looking at a 4th and 18 and you got to get a first down, well, if you got to throw it in triple coverage, you got to try something, right? I mean, it's just like you can't take a sack. You don't throw it away. There are some times where you just have to make a dangerous throw because the moment calls for it, or maybe that's all that's there. And so, I was fairly pleased. I think most fans were with the way he comported himself and how he played. Now that second half, and I don't know if that was, I'd have to go over the game in my head again. It unlike Rosen, Rosen has like a spiral notebook and he writes down every play.
Takes notes
on every play, and then he'll bring it in here and refer to it. It's genius. I don't have the patience for that. I'm not going to sit and
you have the work ethic.
Or work ethic. I'm not going to write down. Though I used to. Did I ever tell you when
I would do that with Wild games back when I was hosting Wild Fan Line.
Well,
I would write notes of, because it's hard to, some rube comes on the radio and like details some specific play, and then I'm trying to think about, well, who was at fault at that play, and I can't forget it. But if I write it down, I remember it easily.
I did the same thing. I was a member of the Vikings audio network. It was the radio network at the time. I've never worked for the audio network. When did we start calling it audio?
This year.
So I've never been a part of the audio network. Haven't been invited. Derek Shelton was in with Big Ticket yesterday. He walked into the studio and I didn't introduce myself to him, nor did he introduce himself to me, but he did kind of look me up and down thinking, I don't know if he was thinking he knows the radio station and thinks, oh, this is the clown from Brown.
And not Brown University.
Not Brown University. And JG said, you don't have to, he was talking to Shelton, and he said, the new Twins manager, for those that aren't familiar with him. He said, you don't need to put on the headset because it's just going to be you and Big Ticket. And then he mentioned that he's worked in radio, that between managing jobs.
Yes, that's right.
He was a radio guy. And he said, I've been fired 3 times as a manager. And then I looked at him and said, the first thing I ever said to him, I just said to him, well, you got nothing over Billy Martin because he's been hired and fired about 5 times. And he laughed and said, yeah, he was. And I said, I've been fired from radio 4 times. He said, I've never been fired from radio. I said, well, maybe you're in the wrong profession then. Because you've been fired from baseball. I would take a cheap shot, a gentle cheap shot, saying, well, you've never been fired from radio, but you've been fired from baseball. Maybe you're in the wrong line of work. And he laughed, and I laughed, and then we just nodded, and I left the room. Why was I bringing this up? I was going to tie this in somehow, in some way, shape, or form. I don't remember nothing. It was going to lead to a point I was trying to make about 9. Or O'Connell or something. I don't remember what it was. I don't know where I was headed. That's too bad, too, because I thought I was onto something there, man. It was going to be really a great... And I just was stumbled across. It was called radio gardening. Yeah, I've had no idea what to talk about today. I think that's obvious to anybody listening. But I thought I was onto something there.
I gave you a segment idea today, but apparently you didn't.
When did you do that?
I texted you.
Well, what time did the text come in? I was out golfing, probably.
Well, you can still look at it after you're done golfing. 10:08 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that, 10:08 a.m. I'm planning on doing NFL midseason awards today. Let me know if you want to do it during a segment or during 5 questions. Well, let's do it during a segment.
Okay. You want to do it now, or...
How long oh boy, we're only at 43.
We got a long way to go.
I got to get to what, 53 or 54?
No, like 57.
Ooh. Someone's trying to help me out here. He says, radio network or something. Yeah, I don't know what it was either. Oh, I like this. Comment, are you still fourth in the North? If so, you are 4. My alter ego, 4. I like that.
I always
But I'm
live
not
far.
fourth. I'm not fourth in the North. I would be 2. 2 plus 2 be 4. If you want to use the word before in a sentence, 2 plus 2 be 4.
It'd be deuce.
I would be Deuce, but
Yeah.
I gave birth to Deuce. Or I didn't. My wife did. I helped. I had to be there in order for it to get done.
I contributed.
So I don't know what the hell I was talking. Why was I talking about the Derek Shelton thing?
No idea. There's probably a Rosen rip is what I'm gathering.
Oh, I could give you a Rosen rip, yeah, because we both ended up meeting. We went our separate ways after we left the show, and we both just happened to go into the elevator vestibule at the exact same time. Got in the elevator, and he kind of under his breath, but he for some reason wanted me to hear. He goes, "There's Derek Shelton." And I kind of looked around like, "Are you talking to me? I mean, I know that's who he is. Did you want to say something about him?" But then that's all he said was,
Huh?
"There's Derek Shelton." And he kind of just said it like I say, kind of under his breath. There's Derek Shelton. I know. I saw him.
Yeah. He's a human being. He's real.
Yeah, he's real. First of all, he's a man. What do I know about Derek Shelton? First of all, he's a man. Second of all, he's a human being. Third of all, he's a baseball manager who's been fired 3 different times as a baseball manager. You haven't been in radio. Well, you've never been fired from radio, have you?
No, not yet. I'm sure that day's coming.
I don't know. Oh, I know what I was talking about. We were talking about Rosen taking notes in a spiral notepad. When I worked for the Vikings radio network, okay, because I was talking about being fired. I've been fired 5 times in the Vikings radio network. 5 different times I had a segment on there. And the first one I ever had was I hosted Fan Line. I've recanted this tale before. By myself. I didn't have a former player alongside me. I did it live at America's Original Sports Bar. Does that still exist? America's Original Sports Bar.
I'm sure there's something up there now. I don't know what the name of it is.
America's Original Sports Bar, live from the middle of the bar where it was just drunken Viking fans everywhere. Or at least slightly inebriated. I don't know if everybody was drunk, but there were people that in various stages of drunkenness.
They were doing some drinksing.
Yeah, they were doing some drinksing, right? And I did the same thing you're talking about because I had to watch the entire game and I took notes. I did the same thing because of exactly what you said. If I'm watching the game and someone goes, that third down play where they decided to throw the ball instead of run, and then I could look back and see exactly what happened in the game, right? I used to watch it at, what was the place right next to it? They owned them both. The other one was like a restaurant. And I would get to be in there. I had the room to myself with it was almost like as big as a drive-in movie theater screen. And I watched the whole game on my own. They'd bring me food and I'd take notes on the game. I can't imagine doing that now. The beauty of it is the Vikings will actually send you, and you can even find it on ESPN. They'll send you a recap, basically a play-by-play of every play that happened. Opening kickoff, return to the 22-yard line. 14, 42, first down, incomplete pass. Second down, interception or whatever, right? They'll play it out for you. So you don't even have to write them down anymore. You can just go ahead and just go right to, and the Vikings will send you the whole thing. It's a wonderful thing. This one says, this is my favorite show, but this segment should be Hall of Fame of meandering nonsense. Yeah, I've had trouble. This one says, Maybe you could kill 10 minutes talking about the Loons playoff game on Saturday.
Huh? Is that the decisive game 3?
Yes. Well, we ran something. Nordo's doing didn't we run something during the last break with Nordo talking about the game? I think it was a commercial of some sort. Nordo's pumped about it. He likes soccer. So does LaBelle, right?
Sure.
You? Do you remember when I took Deuce to that soccer game?
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite moments. Well, I don't have a lot of them, so that's why this is near the top. But we got there early because Deuce was going to the game. He was playing soccer at the time, and some soccer players got invited to go and talk to a goalie or something. So I'm there like when no one's at the game yet. And I take a picture and say, boy, this Loons club is really, because people are talking about how much Minnesota loves soccer and how big it was going to be.
Yeah.
Then I sent the picture to you, and then you tweeted it out. And boy, the soccer community was mad at us.
I heard not us,
well,
me.
You. Yeah, it was you.
I got the wrath of the soccer community.
Yeah. And of course, I guess I failed to tell you that it was actually 3 hours before the game. I led you to believe like it was just minutes before the opening. Do they do an opening coin flip or kickoff? What do they do? How do they start a soccer game? Do you have any idea?
They do the thing where like both teams kind of like walk out of the tunnel together, and then there's usually like children standing in a line, and they kind of stand all in a line together. But I will say at that time, I was not a big soccer guy.
Yeah.
Was not planning on watching any of it. Since then, I've changed my tune. I've been open to it. The stadium's great. I think it's a great place to bring kids because, you know, every spot's a good spot to see, and there's constant action, and the game's over 90 minutes. So sometimes when you're bringing young kids to some of these places, the game might be 3.5 hours. That's a long time. Whereas I know I'm getting out of there an hour 40.
Yeah. No, that's even same with the National Hockey League. They stop the action for a fight, penalty, or icing. Otherwise, it goes just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Good flow to it.
You brag about not preparing for your show, but listeners get bored with all the blank airtime. Could you take Tena's ideas and use them, please? Sounds like he's admonishing me and scolding me. And again,
is that Chad Abbott?
But no, here's the other thing that annoys me, though. He says, but listeners get bored with all the blank air. He's speaking for everybody. Yeah. Some people like the intermission music. I have a fertile mind. There's a lot going on in there, and sometimes I get thrown off track. When you have this much going on.
There's a lot rattling around in that head of yours.
6, 7 things at one time. There's a lot rattling around in there. There's for sure. If JJ's 9 and Common is 4, then is Tenabee's alter ego just 10? It could be a play on Tena. Or it could be for or it could be for the score he made when he fist pumped on a 30-foot putt for 10. Because you did do that.
I did.
10.
So happy to have that hole over us.
You're 10. I'm 4. JJ's 9.
All this time I've been spelling my name wrong because I never really knew how to spell Tena, right? It was just a nickname given to you. Like Tenabee. There's multiple ways you could spell, and I could just come up with my own way. I kind of like I should have just done the number 10.
Yeah, well, the way I spell it is capital T-E-N-N-A, capital B.
Yeah.
That's how I spell it when I text. Because I text it to people. I'll ask it. I'll do the old. Or what I'll do is when there's somebody submits a preposterous statement for consideration, on my email, I'll always go back. I'll forward this to 10, and then I write 10, T-E-N-N, and then a comma, comma, the PST committee.
I always love that one.
Because I don't want to let them know that you're the preposterous statement term.
There's nobody else.
There's nobody else. It's you. But you want them. It's a ruse we're trying to perpetrate on the listening public, that we have this panel of people that are poring over all the preposterous statements, almost like when they do, Hall of Fame balloting, or they do power rankings. They have several people. We like to let them think that we have all sorts of people working behind the scenes on the PST. That's another one of your regrets, having to do that every year. Remember when I said I was going to take it over for you?
I remember that. I gave it to you for 1 year to throw your opinion in. And as I suspected, you didn't go very far with it.
Yeah. This show is the only one that feels like a conversation among friends. You're honest about the local teams, good or bad. It's the perfect middle of the day show. That's why I'm stuck in the middle.
Stuck in the middle with you.
A clown to the left of me, a joker to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Here's one. I like this. Common, I prefer the rambling. See? This one says, personally, the dead air makes me think my phone is ringing, and when I have no phone calls, it reminds me that no one calls me. I'm not sure what that means. This one says, Common, you are best when you are meandering. The breaks in your show give me time to figure out your jokes. You're doing your best, Common. John from Owatonna. We got to 54. So we still, no, believe it or not, there's some good stuff coming up. 534. The good stuff is my lunch. I'm going to eat lunch during 534. Then we're going to do mid-season NFL awards.
Okay.
And then
115.
115, and then God only knows 130 to. I got a couple of emails from people raise some interesting issues, some controversial issues. We can get to those too, and we can just kind of mix and match and get to 2 o'clock and then rip Rosen. It's kind of what we do.
I like it.
What do you have for a tease for us?
Yeah, the Wolves didn't bring enough spirit last night.